So as we're inside, just enjoy a couple of really beautiful breaths. The body gets this chance to just tune in, to relax. No matter how anything else in our day or our week has gone, right here, right in this moment, right now, we're okay. Everything's good. The body's healthy. The lungs are pumping. So as we continue to travel into our class today, the idea that we're going to be working on is the idea of moving energy up the spine. So this deals a lot with the chakra ideas. And so a large part of the focus that we have for our class today is going to especially be on the root chakra and the sacral chakra, looking those two areas to really start to open up in really good, just kind of juicy ways. And those are important chakras to work with when the world seems like it's like had the carpet swept out from under your feet, when it feels like there's nothing but falling happening going on. And so it's important to return back to those roots. It's just like a plant. If they're unrooted, if their whole ball of roots is picked up and they're transplanted somewhere else, there's a state of shock that can sometimes happen. And so that's the idea. We're taking care of our roots, taking care of the sacral chakra, because if the roots are not happy, none of our energy can travel up the rest of the spine. We can't work on higher ideas of connectedness and love and peace and union. We can't work on those if we're in survival mode. And so as we feed energetically those chakras today, we'll imagine that more and more energy is fed to that area. It's brought into a state of peace, of equanimity, of happiness, so that as we continue to travel onward, we do have that freedom to continue to shift more and more energy to the upper chakras, where we can be a good member of our community, where we can be helpful, where we can even be a healer to those that are open for it and to those that need it. So those are all the ideas we'll keep in the back of our mind as we start to travel through our class here. So with that, to get us started today, let's take some of our initial stretches. So allowing the arms to stretch all the way to the back wall. Let's begin to wiggle shoulders all the way to the right. And all the way to the left. And just let there be freedom and free-flowing energy all the way up the spine. Notice the parts that feel tightest. Take note of it so we can maybe take some extra focus, extra awareness in some poses throughout the class today. But just have this nice free flowing. Everything's good. In this moment, everything is perfect even. It's exactly as it's meant to be. So maybe one more time, left and right. And as we're back through the center, start to hug your hands around to the right knee. So we pull it in. Maybe we've got some tightness in the ankle that we're starting to circle through. Maybe it's more in the hip joint, starting to open up some tightness in that area. Maybe a breath or two here until you're ready. Your body is ready to start extending this leg all the way upward. Once it's happy and extending, just shoot that leg up. Feel how the backside is doing. What is the ankle and the foot like? How is the calf? How is the hamstring? Just noticing. Here we'll take another huge inhale. Exhale, hook the right heel to the back left side. Slide the shin in. Starting to ease into that hip joint. Enjoy one more breath here. Good inhale. Good, exhale. Free out the leg, maybe a tug up to the sky until you're ready to drop that foot down. Once you're there, hug around this left side, maybe some ankle rolls. Hang on with the body. When you're ready, the leg is welcome to extend all the way upward. Check in with this area. How's it doing? What can I do to support this journey? Take another good inhale. And exhale, hook the heels, slide the shin in. Let's breathe into the space. Breathe into the opening. Breathe into our very experience. Take another good inhale and exhale. I'm starting to free up the leg. Maybe one last tug before you drop it down. Once you're there, kick the feet free off the front. We're sitting up tall. And let's flip our perspective upside down right away. So fabric to the low back, wind the legs, and just let yourself hang. See what wants to release, what wants to let go in the spine. And imagine that energy that we started off talking about. Imagine how easy it is to get energy and blood flow, especially to the head, while we're hanging like this. Imagine how this is just supporting that journey, that opening, that beautiful process. Like normal, just stay as long as this is feeling good. So if you're still upside down, go ahead and pop up. We're resting in this nice floating child. Sitting up, we're going to take a twist. We're going to bunch the fabric up to the back door first. Once you've held onto the fabric to that side, allow yourself to open up your back shoulder to that back wall. You can circle the hand around the back side of the head if you prefer that grip better. Start to spiral the spine. We're bringing any weird energies out. Here we are, happy and alive. Okay, releasing this side, let's bunch it up to the second. The back arm is the one that opens, circles. Another good breath in and out. And then get both hands to grip the fabric on this side. Lock the arms straight. That hip that's lifting, that's the leg that's gonna swing up and over. Good, so from this spot, we're bunching up the fabric, and then we're taking the right ankle up onto the fabric that's in front of us. Starting to ease into that hip so nicely. So now you've got some options. If you're pushing your arms into the fabric, that lessens the intensity. If you start to back your grip off or even let go entirely, that deepens it. If you still want more, hug around and let your heart in toward the shin. Head to this right foot, hooking the arch of the foot onto the fabric again. Once you're there, slide the straight leg upward. Another good breath in. And exhale, release this right leg. Left shin will come up. You're hooking at the ankle or the shin area, kind of like a pigeon pose. Same options as before. You can lessen the intensity or you can deepen the intensity, your preference. Another huge cycle of breath in and out. And arch of the foot to the fabric, start to straighten it upward. Here, when we free the foot out, take the fabric onto each heel, letting the legs extend out long. Arms help to press the legs to that wide stance, keep the posture lifting tall. Trying to use the strength of the legs to keep the legs spreading about this wide. Start to slide the right hand down the right leg. Left hand circles up and over to that right side as well. So that means that this left foot isn't just kind of flopping in, it's trying to actively stay open. Another flowing breath in and out. Rising up, switch sides, slide the left hand down left leg, circle right hand up and over. breath in and out. Good. And then sitting up, just let the bottoms of the feet rest together. I love this position so much, I can't help but smile in it. And so as you're here, taking a few really good deep breaths in, imagine one little molecule of your cerebral spinal fluid at the very base of your spine. That cerebral spinal fluid is what encompasses the nerve that passes up and down our spine. So imagine one molecule of that cerebral spinal fluid at the base, and imagine as you're taking huge inhales and exhales, for the next minute or two, imagine that cerebral spinal fluid just slowly traveling up a journey all the way up into the brain. So just visualize that, but really just work on the breath. Deep inhales and exhales for a little while here. Here we can take one more deep breath in. A nice exhale. Good. Free out the feet. We've got one more stretch while we're straddling the fabric like this. So with the last stretch, we're going to take both feet onto the fabric in front of our face. I usually like to get into it by taking a stop sign hand and push it into the fabric in front of my face. From there, one ankle can come up where the hand is, and then the other foot can easily just join right next to the first. It's okay if the knees are bent. Sometimes flexibility is difficult here. If you can try to straighten the legs, aim for that option. And occasionally there's people who want even more, so that would be a hugging around, kind of pulling yourself in like a tight little taco. So wherever you end up, again, the breath is it's the key, it's the most vital part here. Perhaps staying here feels like the highest benefit for the body. If you'd like to take a little bit of time with the cobbler's pose, just slide the bottoms of the feet together. You get to choose how close they slide into the pelvis. Just enjoy this for 3 more beautiful breaths. Okay, as you finish that third, let both feet fall off to the front end. Shift your hips around to face back forward. And here we're gonna do a really fun play thing. So this, sometimes people get the first time, sometimes it takes a little while. The shape of it starts from vampire pose. So you can already start to take well, let me actually have you watch first if you guys want to sit up first. So I'm taking the fabric just like vampire over my shoulders. I get all the excess down to my feet. And the important thing about this one is to get the fabric up your thighs as high as possible. I'm really tall, so you'll see how I have to readjust to get enough fabric up my thighs. But if you can get tons of fabric up here, and if it stays for you, if you're lucky and not too tall, then you'll see how that'll help out tremendously. So I'm still safe on my shoulders. This one is a different grip. So I face the palms toward my face, and then I get my thumbs to stay on the outside, and then my fingers grip the rest of it, and then I shove my elbows into the waist from there. So that's how I get started. The rest of this looks like vampire to get initiated. So I'm heading upside down. I start to pike my feet down until both of them are there. And the little trick if you're tall to get your knees inside is just kind of walk the fabric backwards until your knees are in. From there you can, this is slow motion by the way, so you can also do this faster. But eventually you're kneeling down. Notice how I can't shift my hips back because there's fabric on my thighs. So I need to shimmy the hips past that fabric, and then pushing the elbows outward gets me to a full flip. Okay? Kind of fun. And so I'm coming out, it's just the opposite. I rest down, and then I just flip all the way back in. So the fast motion would be just like a full little flip, just all the way in. Except for I'm too tall. So that's the idea. So get the normal vampire, your shoulders are safe, and all the excess that you can get down to your feet, try to get it there. Good. Take that blanket up your thighs when you get there. So usually if you set up first with just the perfect amount of fabric over the shoulders, and then you use your elbows to push the rest down the waist, that'll make the journey of the rest of the fabric down much easier. And all that extra goes up your thighs, like a quick blanket. And the grip is palms facing toward you. Beautiful. So palms facing toward you. Thumbs stay on the outside, and then your fingers grip. And then shove your elbows as deep into the waist as you can get that. Yeah, so it's like you kind of have to like walk your ribs past it. Yeah. So once you've gotten your elbows clear down, then the feet come up. And then you do your normal vampire, come upside down first. Good. You start to pike the legs down. Your toes will grab it, so you're safe. And I think your knees might be inside, but no, that's perfect. That's good. That's what you want. Good. Pike all the way down to your toes touch. Yep. Your knees are kneeling down inside. Good. And then you need to shimmy your hips back inside. Good. Once you got the hips inside, then it's like a child pose. Keep on sitting your hips back to your feet, and then your elbows go to your sides to help you pop all the way back up. It does require like weird strength, so. It's like a chicken wing. It's like elbows out, and then it like catches the fabric. That's okay. Go ahead and come on up, and I'll show you again. So. And Jennifer, now that you've done it once, you're welcome to just continuously flip or take little breaks however you want. So. Oh, you're so close. You're so close. So think of chicken wings. Your elbows are trying to capture, like out to capture the fabric. And if you're not sure, just let your shoulders go back down and then unslip yourself back in, and I'll show you. Yep. And then just lift your hips up above your shoulders and then roll in. You got it. Okay, so I'll do it really quick. So same grip, I'm upside down, really tall, so I'm gonna have to walk back. But once I got my knees in, I shimmy my hips back. I'm like practically sitting on my feet, and then it's like your elbows have to go wide, and it's like capturing it like a chicken wing. Yeah, so rather than kind of trying to just like pull up, try to just like push out. So like already separate it wide, and then just continue to circle. Yeah. Okay. I know, yeah, try it again. You can have at least, 2 or 3 good goes at it, so. It's like the somersaults we used to do when we were kids. Good, so then bend your hips, yep. Feet are going until you grab the fabric, kneel down, shimmy your hips back. Yep, get them inside, yep. And then elbows just need to go kind of, yeah, even one at a time, yeah, that's fine, yep. You got it, you're up. There you go, beautiful. So this can be done as a full cycle, just like in and out, in and out. So if you want to try going faster, that's fine. If at any point you prefer just to play with normal vampire, you're happy with the somersaults, that's okay. Up to you. Yep, so get down into your shoulders, grab it, yep, that's perfect. And then just extend out, hips up, and then roll in. I succeeded, I got a laugh. Yeah, I love that pike. It's almost like a plow pose, but like different still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Beautiful, oh. You made it. And see, now that you had a smooth one, the next one, every time it'll be easier and easier. Yep. And it's fun because it still uses a bit of core, and it still uses, just a little bit of everything.
What is that move called?
I call it somersault. The hard part about aerial is it's not a consistent name all the way across the board, so you'll hear different teachers use different names for things. So it's a lot newer yoga than 3,000-year-old, 6,000-year-old normal yoga. Maybe give it one more try and then we'll take a little break. Oh, like a celebration.
Seriously, like that those arms around.
Yeah. Like, you see how I call it a chicken wing, but until you get it the first time, it's like, oh, what are you talking about? Yep. Beautiful. So if you need any amount of recovery, you can lay down or start to work up to floating child. Depending on if you were just doing the consistent flips, usually it doesn't take super long, but don't feel any sense of rush to come out. So just enjoy a chance to just be with your breath for a moment until we're all together. Okay. So again, if you still need a moment, no rush. But when you're ready, grip the fabric, lift your hips up and out. And here we're going to circle our hips around the world. So keep the fabric over the shoulders. Circle the fabric like a big hug above the head and around. And then one more to that direction before you finally grip. The feet get to stay under the plumb line. Hips get to go heavy back. I like to keep the rest of my spine and the rest of my legs straight. So it's just the hips relaxing as far back as possible. And then you can start to circle. You can go fast or slow. I usually take the first one nice and slow, just pause it aside, pause forward, and get some of the snap, crackle, and pops out. Eventually the other side and back. You can keep on going in this direction, or you can immediately switch directions, your choice. And just take however many of these you need until you need a little break. And when you need a break, just come out for a moment, wiggle fingers, and you're welcome to go back in one more time after your break. So no rush through this. Yeah, imagine you have to get like a huge hula hoop on. Just like, yeah, I'm circling. Whenever you take your second break, go ahead and free your hands out. Open and close or shake, whatever feels good. The fabric will come out in front of us. We're going to allow ourselves to take a nice forward fold, bending that nice flat 90-degree angle. You can be with stillness or you can wiggle around. If you want to sway a little bit left and right, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you pause to whatever side you're at this moment. Take another moment to just stretch through the side ribs. And eventually take the second side. Good, returning forward, bend the knees. Let's roll our way up to stand. And then right ankle inside. You get to choose sliding down or splitting forward, sliding hands up. Just gonna give it a couple of good breaths. No forceful quality. We're gonna take a couple of rounds of the splits to each side. Good, weight back over the standing leg. Grip up strong, swinging switch. Set the second foot in, first foot out. Once you're there, same version. Whatever version you did before, splits or just sliding down. Good, weight back over the leg, swinging switch. The only thing that happened, you did good. The only thing that happened, most people, they do that by bending the knee and then it turns your swing. Okay. You actually did it by kind of lifting yourself up too high and then your whole leg just kind of went through. So you're good though. Now you know, just keep the leg straight and don't lift up too high. Good. So we got I guess back to the first leg here. This time we're going to take a little twist first. So your left hand grabs the right strand, or it can push along the outside of both. And the other arm opens up to the little twist. Beautiful. One hand on each strand. This is version 2 of the splits, so if you want to just slide down this time, or if you want to try to take it just a hair deeper in the splits, either is fine. Good. Coming back, grip up high, swinging switch. Beautiful. It's easier and easier. Okay, this time it's right hand gripping left strand or pushing. And then the other arm is the one that opens. Nice twist. Okay, returning forward, splits, or whatever version you're doing. And coming back. One more time just for funsies, we'll take the swinging switch. Once you're out there, go ahead and take the feet out. This next type of splits that we'll play with is the standing splits from the downward facing dog. So take the fabric across the front of the hips. Once you're there, a step or so forward, and then begin to lean into the fabric, bend at the hips, straight out the thumbs, go down, and then step a couple of steps back until hips are on your plumb line. So from here to get to the standing split, your right foot, it needs to go wide first. That makes it so the foot goes to the outside of the fabric rather than inside. So go wide with that right leg, bend the knee, and then try to catch the toes on the outside of the fabric. You got to inside there? There you go. Okay. So this could be intense enough for your body, nothing wrong with this. If you're heading towards standing split, see if you can slide that right foot up the fabric. And this is perfectly fine just to stay here. Occasionally there's people that want more, in which case the standing foot would hop forward and the hands hop backwards, more toward that full standing foot. Our breath in. And exhale, if the foot hops forward, slide it back. And then the foot that's hooked on the fabric, slide it close to the glute first, and then gentle release. Once you're there, left leg goes wide, bend the knee, and then catch the outside. A little bit wider. You're like right in the middle. There you go. Oh, something. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so maybe the foot slides up, maybe not. Maybe standing foot hops forward, maybe not. Let's just take a couple more breaths. One more breath in. And then exhale. If this foot hops forward, slide it back. The foot slides to the glute, and then gentle release. If you're doing okay and you still want more of an inversion, take the hip hang, lifting the toes up, hug around. If your head's, that's about where you're at, go ahead and go to the recovery pose, the stargazer. Gentle rolling up, and then just turn around, catch the fabric on your shoulders. Normal. This will be at the right amount of time for your body. No rush, no pressure to stay longer. When you are ready to come out, that'll be that recovery pose, but still, just enjoy it. Go ahead and face forward. Just because we're right after. So if you're still in the hip hang, take a last breath or two, and then we'll head out to the recovery pose, the stargazer, facing forward. Enjoy 3 more breaths. Okay. With this next pose, slide the fabric down a little bit lower. Now it's under shoulder blades instead of armpits. And the feet, you're going to want to be under plumb line. So that you'll notice the first time around if it's not quite in that spot, but it's more or less about where the middle of the mat is. For you guys, it's right about where the shadow line is. So then the feet go up about as wide as the mat. The knees are nice and bent for this one. This is another way to take circles, just quite a bit lower. So what we do is we let the knees bend as we sway to one side, forward, around, and back. Just softening through the knees so there's no pressure on any of the ligaments. So take maybe 5 or 6 to one direction. And then when you're ready to switch, just pause in the back. And then reverse the direction of the circle for a few rounds. Good. Wrapping up after the next circle. Once you're back with straight legs, clasp the hands behind your back and try to pull the arms away from your butt. One more inhale. And exhale. Release. Walk backwards until you're standing up. And then from here, I'm going to turn myself around so I'm doing exactly facing the way that you guys are facing. So we're facing forward. The fabric's now in front of us. And you're just going to follow me step by step through this. Know that the biggest hint I can give you is once we got the fabric behind us, if you have the fabric in your butt crack, it's going to be a little bit intense. It's like flossing it, and it's, you know, it's like right on that tailbone. So it's really intense if you go right in the middle. So instead, my hint is to go just off to the side, so it's more on the glute. Okay, so from here, we're going to stand all the way inside. So take one foot in. You're going to want to not be rocking too much. So try to do a slow, controlled rise up. And then once you're here, we're going to get our back on the left side. So start to get that left shoulder through. Our back is on that left side. And this is where we start choosing a butt cheek. Okay. The other foot, this right foot, is going to start to reach up as high as you can in front of us. And as you kick into the fabric, what you're going to do is try to inch the feet together until we end up in about a 90-degree angle. So we're inching the butt down, inching the feet up, and then getting ourselves to that nice spot right there. And if you didn't end up with it on the glute, spin it over. You still have that freedom to do so. You got it. Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be exact. So if you're more or less 90, you're pretty good. Okay, so this one looks really pretty. Just follow me step by step so every single thing is safe. Our shoulders are, so you're gonna grip above your head, obviously. That's gonna be your safety to start off with. Your right shoulder is actually gonna go to the front. So you're bringing your right shoulder out to that left side. And then this right hand is gonna wrap around and then reach the fabric as high as you can. Right hand. Yeah. Reach it nice and high. Right hand high. Okay. You got it. So now it's wrapped at the waist. You're safe. Okay, so keep the legs straight. Now the right foot drops off that right edge. And then our left hand, that free hand, grabs those toes. We just get to lean back for a moment. This beautiful quadricep stretch. Let's take one more breath in. Then exhale. You're gonna work your way back up to sitting. So get your shoulders back in, get your feet back in. And while we're taking a little break, see if you can get your spine to be balanced enough that maybe hands can let go. Just balancing left and right for a moment. Good, gripping back on for safety. We're gonna try to switch to the other glute. So off to the right glute tends to work best for this next leg. So kind of lift the hips up and then shift the fabric over until you can sit back down. And then once you're there, the foot that's holding onto the fabric is now gonna be the right one. So the left can already drop down if you like. Okay, our shoulders need to get off of the right side. And then it's the left arm that wraps all the way around the thigh. Yep, off to the back wall. Good. Left arm. Okay. So once you're there, then your right hand and your left toes can come together for that same quad stretch. We made it.
I totally split the listening.
Oh yeah, I actually like it when that happens because then it's like making it more intense. It's just that the glutes are sliding back down. Okay, so when you're ready, if you want to come back up, sometimes even that higher pike with the feet, sometimes I like it because it's like a deeper forward fold. But if you want to try the couple of breaths with hands free, maybe try that 2 or 3 cycles. And then grip on up high for safety. To come out, the easiest way is just to head on out. So just kind of bend the legs, step on out. Nice. Still flossing some stuff. Good. Okay. So from here, we have enough time for one more inversion. So pick your favorite. So whether you're back inside, whether you're vampire, whether you're straddle back, or the cobbler's close one, you've got all sorts of options. Just pick one more inversion that you'd like to take for today. And this will be an inversion you can enjoy as long as you like. At some point when you're ready to come back out, take your normal recovery, any amount that you need, and then eventually you can head to your Shavasana pose afterwards. Are you trying to do the shuttle back?
I'm trying to do like both, where we just kind of lean back. Then, like,
Trying to think of what.
sometimes we.
So you're probably sitting inside of it?
Yeah.
So then go ahead and like open up the whole thing. Yeah, so then the boat, you said bow or boat?
Kind of like the
Bow pose,
bow,
like
yeah.
where you grab your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. So this one you can, get the fabric there, and then you can like kind of lean halfway back. Yep, grip up high. And as you start to head back, just go nice and slow for the side. to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introducing little movements back to the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Like shoulder wiggles, or if you'd like the fetal position, curling in and arching back. Go ahead and take a few rounds of either of those. Up to seated when you're ready. Those hands joined together in front of the heart. We connect back with that idea of satiating the lower chakras, the root and the sacrum, making sure that we fed them energy, and we have with all of our leg stretches and hip openers. And so with that kindness that we did to our body, we imagine, just like we did before, some of the energy, even just imagining the cerebrospinal fluid getting to travel up, helping the energy raise, helping our frequency get higher, allowing ourselves to just feel better in our experience. So with these ideas to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time that we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.